Interestingly enough, I'm still on my first beer. So, here we go. GoOdy against HasuObs. It is game number 2. HasuObs is up 1-0 after showing some brilliant Phoenix harassment and Blink Stalker play. With some nice decision making and hidden expansions, he was able to win the first game on Lost Temple. He is up 1-0. He just needs to win one more game. GoOdy, on the other hand, needs to win 2 more games. We are on Shakura's plateau, and HasuObs is spawning as the yellow Protoss once again. In the top left position, we have GoOdy spawning at the top right position. So they're spawning close positions, and yes, I'm using the word close positions because by now 80-90% of the players and viewers, casters, everybody should know that on Shakura's plateau you only can spawn next to each other or on cross positions. For example, it's not possible for someone to spawn on the top right and his opponent to spawn on the bottom right. So if I'm talking about close positions, I always talk about they're spawning next to each other, because if you take care of those destructible rocks and those destructible rocks as well, you are right in the base of your opponent. And I experienced this firsthand against a very good Terran player. I'm not sure if, I think it was Mova, for example. He's from Sweden. He is in the European top 200. He's a Terran player, and he was in the finals of the last CraftCup on the US servers, where he played against This Is Jimmy, who was a really good Terran player as well. And I was playing against him, and it was Shakura's plateau, and he was just manhandling me with a really nice push. He had some Banshees, he had a Raven, he had 3 siege tanks or even 4 siege tanks and a couple of Marines, and he was just slowly pushing forward. And I mean, I was able to get an expansion up in time. He was still on 1 base, but with the siege tanks being positioned at this location, this mineral line of my main base was under siege quite fast. An interesting move by HasuObs. So he started a Stargate, then he saw the SCV, then he cancelled it, and then he rebuilt the Stargate. But I'm not sure if the SCV, I think the SCV spotted the cancelling process of the Stargate, so maybe he wants to fake a cancel and build a real Stargate after all. So he's tricking an enemy, him thinking that he got tricked his enemy, but his enemy thought, he's tricking me, so I'm tricking him now. But in the end, he tricked him after all. This is a smart guy. HasuObs, indeed he is. And so already attacking the destructible rocks, once again going for the Stargate play. When I play Protoss, I'm not that familiar with the Phoenix play against Terran play. I like playing Void Race, and I'm playing Masked Void Race. I'm talking like having a 15 Void Race with a +2 attack, which is really great against Terran players. I get so many flames when I play on the ladder, even though I lost 250 points on the ladder in the last 4 days. Losing like 3 out of 4 games, especially against Zerg. I forgot how to play against Zerg. But anyway, let's not talk about me. Let's do the GSL typical zoom in here. We see the Void Ray is currently warped in. The first Void Ray is finished, going for the Chrono Boost right away. And the early Void Ray attack against the Terran player can be quite powerful as well, because you can still apply some pressure, because most of the time the Terran player does not have out too many Vikings, because most of the Terran player, at least in my division, I am 2600, 2800, 2900 diamond, they go for Mars Marine Marauder. GoOdy is instead going for the 1-1-1. The Viking just spotted the forces here of HasuObs. Now he's trying, of course, to micro his Viking to victory, and HasuObs just needs to watch out for the Stalker, for the Viking with the Stalker, and now the Zealots can't do anything about it. He's got 2 Vikings, 2 Void Rays out. The Void Rays are now attacking the Marines. Of course, HasuObs needs to take care of this forces there, and he can't do anything about it, because on the one hand, the Viking is attacking the Void Ray, and if the if the Stalker wants to take out the Void Ray, there are the tanks of GoOdy. So HasuObs tried to be aggressive there, he was not successful. This allows GoOdy not only to get the supply depot, but also to allows him to get a missile turret up, which is so crucial in terms of defending against Void Rays. On the other hand, the Void Ray still can be located at this position, meaning that they still can attack the destructible rocks, still can charge up. And how about the siege mode? Siege mode still just started. Missile turret did quite some damage. Their shields are fully depleted of this one Void Ray, so he did not do too much damage there, and I think it's not the best choice anymore for HasuObs to attack. I mean, if all those forces of GoOdy are here on the open field, and there will only be some Vikings and some Marines, this Void Ray still can do some damage. But attacking here at the destructible rocks where the missile turrets are, etc., I think it's not the best choice, and I would like GoOdy once again to go for the high-sec auto-tracking upgrade. Here it just costs 100 minerals, 100 gas, but it's researched in 80 seconds, so it can be researched really fast. GoOdy now finished with this orbital command. He went for the command center right after he finished with this 111. Now going for the second factory, of course, adding 3 more supply depots in the mix. Meanwhile, the Nexus of HasuObs was a little bit more delayed, but in terms of tech, he is ahead by far. Not only does he have the Stargate, he's got the Robo facility, he's got the Robo Bay finished too, and he's also got the Twilight Council. So just the Dark Shrine, High Templar archive, and the Fleet Beacon, and he would have already the complete Protoss tech available at his disposal. Of course, going for the complete tech at only 2 bases or 1.5 base, it's very costly on 2 bases. So we take a look at the Harvester count. So we see 40 probes for HasuObs, we see 45 SCVs for GoOdy, in addition to the 2 mules every 40 seconds, every 80 seconds 2 mules, 1 mule every 40 seconds. GoOdy now not only finishing with 1 factory, he's going for another factory as well, so he will have, of course, 4 factories, like I already told you in the first game. 4 factory on 2 bases, 3 factories with a tech lab, 1 factory with a reactor. He should research the Infernal Pre-Ignite in about 3 or 5 minutes, as soon as he got enough siege tank. But GoOdy, because most of the time he tries to get a certain amount of siege tanks where he feels comfortable with. By the way, Void Ray is taking out a Hellion here, and as soon as he got enough tanks out, he can start to invest some gas into the +1 attack, which he's, for example, doing right now, researching the Terran Vehicle Weapons level 1. He's adding more Hellions. He's got 4 Hellions in production right now, and yes, indeed, 3 tech labs on the factory and 1 reactor on the factory here. And he should go, he's building, interestingly enough, a Thor. I'm not sure about the Thor because, of course, the Thor doesn't do extra damage against the Void Rays. I mean, the Thor is a ground unit with the highest single target DPS. So the Thor's Hammer, nice name by the way for a weapon, is doing quite a lot of damage. But of course, the Void Rays doing 20% more damage to massive units. Guess what? Yes, the Thor, we just need to have to take a look at it in about 12 seconds. The Thor is really a massive unit. Meanwhile, HasuObs is not staying on 2 bases. He's going for another expansion. He had the 8 o'clock position, and he is getting the Thermal Lance, he's getting the Psionic Storm, so just the Dark Shrine and the Fleet Beacon by now, and he would have the complete tech. So Mothership Dark Templar, because double the cloak is even cooler than having only 1 single cloak unit. No, on a more serious note, he's got quite a lot of tech, and this is all he needs. Especially the Colossi with a High Templar is a very good army composition to have. Maybe some Immortals in the mix, because it's a pure suicide to attack GoOdy right now, with him having all the missile turrets everywhere, the siege tanks, the bunkers, the Blue Flame Hellions, the Thors, and of course moving out on the open field might be an option, but of course he needs to watch out for his High Templar, because the Hellions doing quite a lot of damage to them. But not just yet, because Infernal Pre-Ignited, the Blue Flame, is still not, the research still not started for GoOdy, even though he keeps on producing those Hellions. Meanwhile, GoOdy finished with a command center of his own. He will be able to land it, for example, here at the center location. On the other hand, of course, the Colossi will be able, for example, at this location or at this location, to do quite some damage over there without actually getting hit too much by possible siege tanks attack. But GoOdy, he is taking up as well, because even though he's not getting any more infantry because Goody and getting infantry upgrades. This is a good one, but he's not getting the +2 attack, but he's getting something else which is already finished, the Ghost Academy. And of course the Ghost Academy is always, especially against Protoss, a very good building to have, because with the Ghost, depleting the energy of the sentries, of the High Templar, decloaking Dark Templars without having to use a scan, and of course against huge balls of Protoss units, just EMP is so powerful. And for example, especially EMPing Immortals, so the siege tanks just can rip those units apart. For example, the siege tanks doing 55 damage against armored units, 4 siege tank shots take out an Immortal right away, assuming the Immortal does not have any shields. So HasuObs having a pylon here at the center location, at the bottom right location, is very good. He's trying to storm here a little bit on the high ground, doing a good job there. This High Templar is at 0 kills, the other High Templar is at 3 kills, and he's storming the Mule right away. Mule goes down as soon as it was dropped. The Vikings most likely will land very soon to get rid of those units, and he's just rearranging his siege tanks, roping in some more Stalkers. The High Templar go for the Archon merge. And there we see a Warp Prism by HasuObs. So I'm really curious where this is going. Of course he needs to watch out, just spotted this. Did Goody spot the Warp Prism? No, he did not. And now HasuObs will be able to drop some units in here, and it will be 2 High Templars, it will be 3 Zealots. And now Goody needs to do something about it, and he's moving all of his Hellions back, and he got so many Hellions. He's got 30 Hellions right now, and those Hellions will kill those Zealots so fast, but not before those Templars storm some stuff in here. And take a look at all those Hellions. How many of those Hellions are here in the red, are in the orange? So he did quite some damage. They killed a missile turret, but in the end could be a little bit more successful. But HasuObs now knows 2 things. He knows that Goody's got trillions and quadrillions and billions and millions of Hellions. And he knows that those Hellions do not have the blue flame yet. Take a look at the production tab, and take a look at the tech lab, and no, the blue flame Hellion did not start yet as well, and Goody is on 3 bases. I mean, he more or less secured this orbital command here at the center location. He is nearly mined out in the main. He's actually not mining, even though there's still 500, 700, 800 minerals left. So he's currently only mining from 2 bases, but he just landed a command center. He just landed a command center at the 4 o'clock location. So no just yet, but because of this pylon being there, HasuObs can be more aggressive. And looks like all those SCVs going for the long distance mine, and Goody now even has to force his command center back. And Goody, I mean, he did not attack a single time until now. And nice Psionic Storm, it did quite some damage to that. Take a look at all those Hellions here in the red right now, and even blinking those low HP units up there. Another High Templar is being warped in. This High Templar, for example, killed 2 more units, and with the cannon there and those Blink Stalkers, he's just ripping all those Hellions apart. And the decision by Goody to go for the Hellions, and even with the blue flames, I'm not agreeing to this. And what do we see freaking here? It is a carrier being warped in, and looks like Hasu just did a small mistake here. He needs to take out this warp gate to get with his Colossus out, and a carrier is being warped in. More High Templars. He's adding more Stargates in the mix, and still those Hellions, still the Hellions and the Stalkers and the High Templar doing so much damage. But now there's the Thor, and Thor, of course, has no problems with those units. What units do you build when you attack a Thor? You just warp in some Zealots. The Zealots with the charge and the +2 attack already take out those Thors pretty fast.